Most legislation requires at least 60 votes in the Senate to pass, and the Democrats only have 50 seats. This means that as long as the situation at the border continues, the likelihood of comprehensive U.S. immigration reform passing becomes more narrow by the day. My name is Moumita Rahman, and I'm the immigration lawyer here to help you navigate this complex world of immigration. We have some important news for you today. DHS Chief Alejandro Mayorkas has announced that the U.S. border is temporarily closed. President Biden held his first news conference discussing his plans for the U.S. immigration system. And finally, USCIS has updated 11 forms, including the I-485, the I-129, the I-539, the I-485J, and the I-864. We will get into the details in a minute. Stay tuned to hear how this news might potentially affect your case. First, please make sure that you like my video so that YouTube can help share it with others. If you have not yet done so, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you can be updated on all the latest immigration news. Okay, so let's take a look at the DHS announcement that the U.S.-Mexico border is temporarily closed. This has the potential to stop all forward progress on Biden's immigration plan. There's a lot of talk in the news right now about the increasing number of migrants, including unaccompanied minors, trying to cross into the U.S. The Biden administration insists that this current border crisis is due to a seasonal fluctuation in migration, as well as the pandemic, and as well as a buildup due to the Trump administration's policies on immigration. When asked about the situation on Sunday, March 21st, DHS Chief Alejandro Mayorkas had the following to say.
The message is quite clear. Do not come. The border is closed. The border is secure. We are expelling families. We are expelling single adults. We have seen large numbers of migration in the past. We know how to address it. Why is it especially challenging and difficult now? Because the entire system was dismantled in its entirety by the Trump administration. So we are rebuilding the system as we address the needs of vulnerable children who arrive at our borders.
Congressional Republicans are definitely using this border crisis as an excuse to avoid collaborating with the Biden administration on its citizenship bills and their plans for immigration reform. Most legislation requires at least 60 votes in the Senate to pass, and the Democrats only have 50 seats. This means that as long as the situation at the border continues, the likelihood of comprehensive U.S. immigration reform passing becomes more narrow by the day. As an example, last week we spoke about the American Dream and Promise Act and the Farm Workforce Modernization Act passing the House. But today, one of the Republican senators who introduced the bipartisan bill, Lindsey Graham, has said that he would not support it in the Senate until the Biden administration gets the border situation under control. On Wednesday, March 24th, President Biden announced that Vice President Kamala Harris will be in charge of the effort to take charge of the border crisis situation. Her goal will be to work with the leaders of Mexico and the countries of the Northern Triangle in order to resolve the root causes of migration. This is critically important to the immigration reform that we have been expecting. I will keep you updated as the story unfolds. Next, I have some good news. DHS has officially withdrawn the Trump version of the I-864 Affidavit of Support. Immigrants are already required to submit the Form I-864 Affidavit of Support with their green card applications for permanent residency. However, Trump had proposed modifications to the requirements and to the form of I-864 that would make it increasingly more difficult for sponsorship. Underneath Trump, the Affidavit of Support proposed rule would have imposed higher qualifying and evidentiary requirements, including production of tax returns, banking information, and credit reports of the American citizen. In an announcement last week, the Department of Homeland Security said that DHS and USCIS are committed to eliminating barriers that prevent legal immigrants from accessing government services available to them, and that this former rule placed increased burdens on American families wishing to sponsor individuals immigrating to the U.S. So, thank goodness, this action is thanks to President Biden's Executive Order 14012 signed last month. This last topic could affect your case. Over the past weekend, USCIS has updated 11 forms due to changes in the visa and green card rules. The new additions have been published to the USCIS website, and starting April 19, 2021, USCIS will only accept these new versions. You can still use older versions up until this date, but it is always recommended to update your materials to avoid potential issues. You can always find out what the edition date is of your form by looking at the very bottom on the bottom left-hand corner. Some of the major forms that are updated include the Form I-485 application to register permanent residence or adjust status, Form I-485 Supplement A, Form I-485 Supplement J, Form I-912 Request for a Fee Waiver, Form I-129 Petition for a Non-Immigrant Worker, and Forms I-864, I-539, and G-1055. I have included a link in my description for all the USCIS form updates. And if you think you might need an updated form for your case, go ahead and click on that link for more information. If you are concerned about the American Dream and Promise Act and the Farm Workforce Modernization Act of 2021 passing the Senate, so am I. To learn more about how these bills could potentially affect immigration and create a pathway to citizenship for millions of people, go ahead and watch my YouTube video here. While these bills have officially passed the House, it will be an incredible step forward if they can also pass the Senate. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.